What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in the building with another banger, man. So, first things, as always, I just want to go ahead and say thank you, God, for giving us another opportunity. And, man, with all that being said, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Turn on post notifications and hit that like button to join the Rich Gang family. And last but not least, y'all, go ahead and drop a comment down below where you are tuning in from. I'm coming from Cali, so let me go ahead and know where y'all are coming from. And today, man, I got the top 3 best post-scoring build names on NBA 2K22 Next Gen. Coming up at number 1, y'all, I had to go ahead and throw my favorite post-scoring build name into this list. And as you can see by the looks of the title and the screen, the build is going to be called the two-way post playmaker. So the first thing that you want to go ahead and do when it comes down to making this build, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that this build is going to be made out of the power forward position. Now I'm pretty sure that you're going to be able to make this build out of the center, but the power forward is going to be much more better overall. I have made it in the past, and I'm telling you, the power forward is the move that you want to make when it comes down to it. Now when it comes down to the height, I'm going to go with 6'8". Then when it comes down to the height, I'm going to go and make sure that this goes pretty good with the weight. So on the weight, I'm going to make sure this is going to be 280 with a 7'6" wingspan and the body shape of build. And honestly, we're really going to be able to bully people on the inside. This build kind of reminds me of a LeBron James build. Now, once we go ahead and get into the attributes, just make sure that everyone follows along as we go through. So as you can see, with the close shot on the finishing, I'm going to leave it at an 80. Then, when it comes down to the driving layup, I like how 82 is going to look. As for the driving dunk, 92 is something that's really going to make this build just take it over the top, in my opinion. You're going to be able to get elite contact dunks, but you do have to adjust the vertical, so do not forget about that. Now, when it comes down to the shooting, you also are able to get a good amount of badges, but also look at the ratings. I'm going to go with a maxed out midi of 83. Same thing for the 3-pointer, and then I'm going to bring up my free throw just so I'm able to really take this build into any game mode, and that's going to leave us at a total of 23 badges. Now for the finishing, we do get 21, but we all have to take into account, remember, we're able to get extra badge points from completing each season. So right now, we're about plus 10 into the season when it comes down to how many extra badges we're going to be able to unlock. So this build is honestly going to be very overpowered if you've been grinding this year all out. Now, when it comes down to the playmaking, I'm going to go ahead and make sure the pass accuracy is going to be an 86. Max out that ball handle, and of course, you want to go ahead and do the same thing when it comes down to the speed with ball. Now, when it comes down to that, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the defensive end. And right here on the interior, 87 is really solid. I'm going to go and make sure that if you get boosts on this build, going to make it that much more overpowered. Once it comes down to the perimeter defense, 79 is actually not bad at all. Then you go with an 82 steal, 89 block, 81 offensive rebound, and a 78 defensive, and we're going to have a total of 31 badges. Now for the speed, max it out. As for the acceleration, go with a 63, 80 strength. Then when it comes down to the vertical, go with an 80, and then when it comes down to the stamina, go with an 80 as well. Now remember, if you want to, you can definitely make some changes to this build, but I feel like the way that this one is set up is honestly very toxic and overpowered. You have everything that you need when it comes down to the defensive end. The playmaking is pretty solid, and then when it comes down to the finishing as well as the shooting, very overpowered build. Not to mention, we are 6'8" with a max wingspan as well as a max weight. So in my opinion, this build is very toxic, very slept on as well. And then look at the takeovers. We're going to be able to break ankles with the shot creating. Then we got the sharpshooting, the playmaking as well, and the rim protecting. So in my opinion, I would pick the rim protecting and then pair it up with possibly the sharpshooting or ankle breaking shots takeover. It really comes down to the way that you want to make this build, but in my opinion, I feel like there are different ways that you can go about it. So let's go ahead and just say we do go with the shot creating. From here, you're going to be able to add so much more to your defensive end. I'm going to go with paint intimidation over stuff blocks. This one, in my opinion, is going to be much more worth it. Let's go ahead and check out the build name that we get. And as y'all can see, together we have created the two-way post playmaker build, and I love the comparison of Anthony Davis as well as Jason Tatum. But now let's go ahead and get into the second build. I'm not going to go ahead and give y'all this build name right away. Just know that this is another very nice build name. So we're going to go with the power forward position. Then once it comes down to the height, I'm going to go with 6'9", 210 for the weight. Then when it comes down to the wingspan, I'm going to go with 7'2", and the body shape can be based off of anything of your own preference. So when it comes down to the physicals, I'm going to make sure that my speed is maxed out. Same thing when it comes down to my acceleration. I'm also going to go with a 75 vertical and a 96 stamina. Now, from here, once we go ahead and get into the actual badges, as you can see with the close shot, this is actually going to make a huge difference in what this build is going to be able to do. So in my opinion, just off going with a 93, we get a good amount of Hall of Fame badges. But then when it comes down to upgrading the standing dunk, we're going to be able to get 14, and honestly, we still have a good amount of attributes to throw into each and every area of this build. The way that I think about it is the more finishing on these kind of builds is really going to make them much more overpowered, especially because you got to consider these are straight post scoring build names. I'm telling you, each of these build names is going to give away what they're able to do. But honestly, easily some of my favorite build names are the rare ones, and that's why I had to go ahead and make this banger for y'all. So when it comes down to the driving layup, I'm going to go with an 80. Then the driving dunk can be a 79. That's going to bring us up to a total of 26 badges. And then finally, if you want to, you can upgrade the post control for even more badges. I'm going to go with an 88, and that's going to leave us at a total of 30. And we honestly have a good amount of badges there. Now, just before we continue, we are already more than halfway through this video, and none of y'all, or some of y'all, have not hit that like button yet. So what I need y'all to do is go ahead and make sure that you smack that like button. Drop a comment down below, where are you coming from? And now let's just go ahead and get back into the video. So when it comes down to the shooting, I'm gonna go with an 82 mid-range, 82 three-pointer, and a 70 free throw, and that's gonna bring us up to a total of 25 badges. As for the playmaking side of things, I'm gonna go with a 75 ball handle, 66 speed with ball, and a 76 pass accuracy. Now that's going to bring us up to a total of 19 badges, 87 overall so far. And honestly, when it comes down to how we're looking on the offensive end, at least, I feel like we are strong in each and every area. Even the playmaking, you have to consider which takeovers you pick, because that can even give you attribute upgrades. But also buying boosts is going to make a huge difference, and especially with buying Gatorade as well. Now, when it comes down to the defensive area, I'm going to go with a 70 interior defense. If you want to, you can definitely go ahead and try to upgrade this more, but the build name is honestly the main thing that I'm trying to maintain here, and you're going to see what I mean by just that. Now, honestly, something that I really want to know is, out of all these builds that I'm bringing to y'all today, which of the three are you going to be making, and which one has the best build name in your opinion? Now, right here on the defensive end, as for the perimeter defense, I'm going to go with the 77, 60 steal, 65 block, 52 offensive rebound, and an 82 defensive. That's going to bring us up to a total of 16 badges here. Now, when it comes down to the takeover, this is going to make the biggest difference in how this build is going to be made, but also in what it's going to be able to do. Now, a 99 overall maxed out build is really, in my opinion, going to be one of the best builds that you can make when it comes down to the post scoring. And of course, we do get that post scoring takeover, the shot creating, and the playmaking. But if you want to, just to upgrade your shooting, you can even pick that sharpshooting takeover. Gonna take this build over the top in my opinion. I'm gonna leave the takeovers up to y'all. So let's go ahead and check out the build name. And as y'all can see, the back to basket big build. Let's go ahead and get into the third and final build making. This is also another post scoring build name, and it's really going to be one of the rarest builds in all of 2K, and I am not just saying that just because I'm bringing it to y'all. What you want to go ahead and do is put this build, yes, under the point guard position. Going to be a completely different build from the previous two, and it's still going to come out to a post scoring build name. When it comes down to the physicals, I like the height of 6'7", 180 when it comes down to the weight, with a 7'3" wingspan. Now this build already is looking pretty solid all around when it comes down to the body. When it comes down to the finishing, these are where you're going to be able to make that build name maintain. So as you can see, with the standing dunk, I'm going to go with an 80. Driving dunk is going to be brought up to a 79 for now. 85 post control, and that is going to give us a few good extra badges that we need that are going to be key. I like the fact that we do get back down Punisher on Hall of Fame. Then from there, I'm going to go with an 89 driving dunk. Now, something that I really want to remind y'all about. There are definitely going to be different ways that you can make each and every one of these builds, but just know the way that I'm bringing them to y'all is just one of many. But honestly, the way that I bring it is making sure that I bring y'all the best possible stats as well as attributes in my opinion. And as you can see, with that close shot being maxed out, that's going to bring us up to a total of 28 badges right here, and we get a good amount of Hall of Fame badges at that. Let's go ahead and move on to the next category. And as you can see, when it comes down to what we're going to be able to do even on the playmaking end, max out that speed with ball. When it comes down to your ball handle, go with an 81, and that is really going to add some extra badges to this as well. Then for the pass accuracy, this definitely is a key area in every single build that you can make in my opinion. So what you want to go ahead and do is make sure that you go with the 76. That's going to bring us up to a total of 23 badges. Then when it comes down to the physicals, as you can see, I maxed out our speed and acceleration, went with a 99 stamina, and for now the vertical is going to be a 59. When it comes down to the shooting, however, I'm going to go with an 82 mid-range, 83 pointer, and honestly, for the free throw, you want to be able to make sure that you're able to take this build into any game mode. So I'm going to go ahead and put this all the way up to a 75. Now, we pretty much have the rest of the attributes left over for the defensive area, and this is why I'm telling you, easily one of the most rare builds, but honestly, with what this build is able to do, very solid all around. So 77 perimeter defense, then go with a 62 steal, 68 block, and then when it comes down to the rebounding, go with an 82 defensive and a 57 offensive for the takeovers, the shot creating, sharpshooting, playmaking, and then of course, you're going to be able to do a little bit of everything when it comes down to this build with the post scoring takeover. I'm going to make sure that you can leave these takeovers to whichever area of the build that you feel like you want to upgrade and get better at. So in my opinion, just to be more rare, I would go with the shot creating and also the post scoring, but that's really up to y'all. Let's go ahead and check out the build name, and as y'all can see, we have created none only than the back to basket guard. And with all that being said, man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new, turn on post notifications, and hit that like button to join the Rich Gang family, and drop a comment down below. Where are you tuning in from and which build you're gonna make? And man, with all that being said, thank y'all, thank you God, and Rich out.